All right. What is your name, age, and rank?
Charles W. Curry. I was seaman first class. What else?
That was age. How old are you, sir?
I'm 96,
All right.
and I'll be 97 in about 5 months.
All right. And are you from this area?
All my life.
Right here. All right.
I was born and raised in Carsville.
Carsville. All right. And what were you doing before the war began?
Right now, I can be talking to you and I'll forget what I'm talking about. I can't help it. Sometimes it come back to me about 5 minutes. I wasn't doing much anything.
All right.
I can't remember. I was still in Carsville. I think I was working at William Moore Company in Fairview,
Okay.
Illinois.
And how old were you at the time? Do you remember?
Well, I was 17. They let me finish high school.
Mm-hmm.
Then the day I finished high school, I was in the Navy the next day.
That'd do it. And were you keeping up with the news before the war began?
Some, not a whole lot. About like everybody else.
Okay. And so, how did it go in your life whenever Pearl Harbor happened?
What now?
Whenever Pearl Harbor happened, like, how did that change everything?
I still don't understand you.
I'm sorry. Whenever Pearl Harbor happened, how did that change things for you?
Well, during the war, that's just something else there. Well, the Japs was getting us in the way they could.
Mm-hmm.
They thought they were going to really take things over, but it didn't work.
And were you drafted or did you volunteer?
I volunteered.
Okay. And what made you choose the Navy?
I didn't have to dig foxholes.
That's a good point. So do you remember going through the maps and the physical and everything else?
Well, no, let's see. I went to Chicago, went to Green Bay. That's where I stayed in Green Bay for my basic training, I guess you call it. And then I went to Vallejo, California, and from there went overseas.
Okay. So when did you have any choice in your rate or job they made you do?
No, they didn't ask me. They just told me.
So okay. So you said you went up to Green Bay and near Chicago for basic. Walk us through your basic training.
Well, we had to get up and it was mostly marching all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The company go out there. I forget now how many men was in it. 30 something, I think.
In the whole company?
Huh?
In the whole company?
I think it was very big. I think that's right. I'm not sure. But we marched. They told us how to march.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I guess they figured they really need to do.
Did y'all do a lot of PT too?
Huh?
A lot of physical training too?
Oh, yeah.
And how bad did the drill sergeants treat? I guess they'd be drill instructors. How bad they treat you?
Well, they just want to make sure you knew they was boss. That's for sure. We had the firearms training.
Mm-hmm.
We should have had a lot of that. Of course, we wouldn't have much of soldiers. We was on the ground facing somebody all the time. We was on ships.
Mm-hmm.
It was our enemy was way off out there first. I remember when we was over the last second main war, battle in the war.
Mm-hmm.
The battleships was up at the Leyte Gulf.
Mm-hmm.
The Japs come up between islands this way, they come down this way. Back then we didn't have a radar.
Mm-hmm.
It was at night, everything was pitch black. And I remember sitting out there, and what's them? There's nothing but darkness. These battleships, I think it's 15 of them. It's a bunch of them. They had fire at one time. It looked like a moon coming up. You see them shields. They fire shields. They come up like they knew the Japs was out there somewhere, but they couldn't see them. And falling like cattle all at one time, they get instead of a bad chance hitting one of them. And when they hit one, they light the whole ocean up. You can see spouts of water going up where a ship was landed. Every time they hit a ship, it just light up everything.
Holy crap! So did you have any notable individuals at your basic?
Yeah, what?
Notable individuals. We in the Army we call them crap bags, but you know, people who just weren't worth the boots they were wearing.
Yeah, I guess you got them everywhere.
You got any stories from them?
One thing we discovered sliced pineapple, cases of it, and they bring it over the stern, and the crane sat down here, and straight down there was all the gear, ropes, and everything the ship used. We'd get a case of that, take it down, and we'd go down later and eat it.
All right, and let's see here. Did you smoke at the time?
No.
You didn't smoke? So did you pawn off the cigarettes they gave you to somebody else?
No, I'd sell them. I sold mine. I went to. They give us leave to go to. I get shore leave, you know. I call it because you ain't up there several hours. And I strapped. They checking everybody, so I strapped me 2 packs on each leg. They didn't pull my pants up, and I sold them $7 half a carton.
I did the same thing at my AIT. Okay, and what was your A school like? What rate did they give you?
I was seaman first class. I was radio. I was supposed to be studying to be a radio operator, and I had a good job there because I had to do a battle. I'd go out, smokestacks coming up. Here's a ship. It's all the way around the smokestack leads deflectors. And I sat here and leaned back against that and I watched what was going on. I had a good place there. The radio shack was right down here by me, and I had anything to do during a raid. That the Japs would come in every morning as the sun come up. They'd fly out of the sun, we couldn't see them. And you can't see nothing, you look at the sun. And they'd come flying out there, and I remember one morning I sitting up there and went to sleep. Well, the 5-inch guns was lined up on the deck down below me down there. They started firing that 5-inch gun the first time it fired, I like fell off that stack. Right underneath me, and the 5-inch gun, they don't sound big, but they're pretty good sized cannon.
Yeah.
And I looked, here come a jet right at me. Well, I might as well. I done been through to the rage, and I done give up. I didn't think I'd ever make it home. I thought one of them would get us for sure. He's coming right at me. I torpedo. It looked like it's big as a freight car. And just before, I'd say, he's probably been out of trailer yonder. A 5-inch shell underneath me, like that gun, one of them 5-inch shells hit him head on. And he just practically stopped. I know he come a little bit farther, but he looked like he stopped. And just down he went. It was into him. And I saw that happen. One day I thought about, they come in, I don't remember what was morning or afternoon. but they came in like that. This one's coming. I couldn't see him.
Mm-hmm.
But the next plane come in so I can see that pilot just like you and me sitting here.
Mm-hmm.
And this 5-inch gun got him. And he dropped the torpedo. He had arms ready and went underneath the ship. And this over here went this way. He went behind the ship. He dropped his torpedo. I was really lucky. My ship didn't get hit while I was on it.
What ship were you on, sir?
Boise.
Boise. Is that what kind of ship was that?
That's a light cruiser.
Boise light cruiser. All right. And so you said you went to California after you got done with your A school. What'd you do? What was the first? Did you get any leave before that to go back home?
No.
So they shipped you straight from basic and your individual training straight to California.
That's right. They needed a lot of fathers. A lot of people, the Japs was doing pretty good at that time.
Mm-hmm. So, did you have any fun in California while you were there?
Oh, little.
Stuff your wife doesn't even know about?
Huh?
Stuff your wife doesn't even know about?
I don't want to repeat all I did. We meet there's a lot of women in California.
Oh, yeah?
I met a lot of them. I tell you what, I've chased women all my life, enjoyed every minute of it. But you know what? They want to get, most of the time, they want to get caught.
All right. So you went straight from California to your ship, the Boise?
Yeah.
And how long were y'all at? What was your first stop from there?
Well, I caught a ship full of sailors going over to get on different ships.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember where we was at, the South Pacific, and somewhere around the Philippines. And I don't. I tell you what. Now when I hold a conversation with somebody, I'd be talking to you, and I forget what I'm saying. It come back to me in about 5 minutes, but after all, I'm doing pretty good to be 6 years old.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't believe it. They say, girl asked me the other day downtown at the cash register. She said, "You're 96." I said, "Yeah." She said, "I see your driver's license."
All right. So you got to like the South Philippines area to change ships, and well, what was your duty like? Just take us through a typical day.
Well, I was a apprentice radio operator.
Mm-hmm.
I learned to be a radio operator. That's all I had to do, and I was to spend my time in Radio Shack all the time.
Mm-hmm. So you just stay on watch, listening to the radio for the most part?
Yeah, when you get to be on them ships, you get to be a full-fledged radio operator.
Mm-hmm.
You say it'd be for 5 or 6, 7 minutes how big the ship is, I guess. And they sit there just typing constantly. What they're doing is taking down every message that the United States sends out to the South Pacific. They take it all down because they don't know when they might get one. And the guys sit there typing it all the time. I didn't get far enough long to stand. I was glad of it too. Because after I got up and do that, I didn't care too much about it. Because I had made it, I was almost like a tourist.
Okay, so radio operator. So what? Where did the ship go first?
Let's see. Oh, we just circled most of the Philippines. We was going to upside one of the islands of the Philippines one afternoon, and those Japs, the sun was getting ready to set. And so here they come swarming up over this mountain and down on us. And we was looking at the sun really, and the sun blinds you. You can't look at the sun to see anything. And they hit because we had 5 ships in my fleet, my bunch, And MacArthur, he was on one of them, and the jet planes hit the one he was on, killed the captain, and killed 65 men. He's up in the pilot house. MacArthur, I guess he's down in his roommate signed him, and it wasn't 45 minutes he getting on our ship. He left that ship there. Of course, I don't blame him. He killed all that captain, all them men, and just ruined the bridge. And he come. We carried him all to the Philippines, and he left again. We went up to Leyte Gulf, went in there. The Jets attacked us there, and some of our ships run around, putting down smokes. All over, all you can see, we didn't know it at the time, but our mast was sticking up above the smoke. Them Jeffs, they had mast down there, they died right on top of them. And of course, we were leaving the Leyte Gulf at flank speed. That's all going out when they had it all run together out there. And we didn't even get hit. I don't think about one plane ship got hit out there. And he went on down to Borneo. We went down to Borneo, and we was waiting out there. He went on the ground to talk to the leaders down in there, and we sitting out there. And all the ships, I think it's 5 ships in his group, and every natives come out and start diving for money. We was in the water maybe 2, 3, 4, no telling how deep, I don't know. And water's usually real deep where you got a lot of islands. And I thought I got home, I'm gonna know how to catch that money. It was 21 foot deep where we tied up, and I dived and had my buddy drop throw a coin out. The coin don't go straight down; they go like this. You catch them easy. Just so get.
That's why I get to drinking money. Okay. Let's see. So you went. You were at Leyte Gulf. Do you remember what year that was?
Huh?
You said you were at Leyte Gulf. Do you remember what year that was?
Let's see. I think it's 45.
45. Well, what? Do you remember what year you went through basic?
Well, that would have been 45.
Okay. Okay. Getting time.
See, I was born in February, so just as soon as February came up, and my time was up, I was out of school. Just as soon as I got out of school in 45, I went straight to basic training.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So you were at Leyte Gulf. Where did y'all go from there?
I was just patrolled all the time around the islands. It's always on the move. After we got rid of the jets out, we got to go to Manila for about 3 or 4 hours. And we at Manila Bay, and going to the docks, it's deep enough. My ship go right in and tie up. Didn't have to anchor. I went to town. That's when I started pulling them carton of cigarettes out, and I got this boy. Filipino boy had a little horse about like a pony in a buggy, and I hired him. He took me around and took me out to his house. He lived way outside Manila, and I guess it took his arm on that little horse. I felt sorry for him. He had him going in a trot all the time. It was hot. He's a tough little dude.
All right. So they basically put you on R&R in Manila?
Huh?
They put you on R&R in Manila?
I guess we got about I'd say we had 4 or 5 hours off. That's it.
Okay, so just enough to get a little sightseeing, I guess.
I did a little sightseeing. Some of them boys lined up to go to the cat house. We're all lined up to go to. I might as well tell the truth. It was about 3 blocks long.
3 blocks.
It was really a long line. Them girls made a lot of money.
At this, what month was this around, at this time?
I'd say it was, let's see, I went in March because my birthday is 27th February, so I was almost born on the leap year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say March.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
So
it might have been April, but not long in there.
So did y'all have to deal with kamikaze attacks pretty frequently at that time?
Oh, we had to deal with them dang fools. After around anything important or what. I remember I was standing with a guy on there. It was writing for some paper back in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Me and him standing there talking. It's about three or four jet planes was diving on his LST.
Mm-hmm.
It was loaded down with soldiers and arms, and they was going into land. And they was trying to, it wasn't bombers, they was trying to sink it.
Mm-hmm.
They just strapped it with machine guns. And about a month later, I got a letter from my mama. She sent me a picture of how I was. The guy stood beside of me. She said, "Son, I sure am glad you know that, where that's at." And I have a picture of what I remember being there.
Mm-hmm. So what else happened? What all else happened after Manila?
Heck, we had that one night there. They put out word the biggest battleship Jets had, one of the biggest in the world.
The Yamato?
I don't remember the name. It was the biggest, or one of them anyway, in the world. And he was out roaming, and some of them found out about it. They took off after him. You can imagine how you'd feel if you was on a doggone ship heading for one to sink you. Now you have to hit close, big as shells it had.
Mm-hmm.
We chased up through there for, I guess, 3 or 4 hours trying to catch him. Never did he catch him. I was tickled to death. I didn't want no part of that thing.
Yeah, I imagine. So after y'all tried to hunt down the Yamato, what happened next?
Did a whole lot happen.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the last major sea battle of the war.
Mm-hmm. That was Leyte Gulf, right?
Yeah. That's when all the battleships back up fought one time.
Mm-hmm.
And shells looked like a moon coming up. And after that, it wasn't too long after that, they sent us back to the States.
Mm-hmm.
And we were about halfway home when they put out the word that Japan had surrendered.
Okay. I remember you telling me a story, and you were saying that there were some guys playing AC-doocy during the battle?
Oh, that ship that I was on,
Mm-hmm.
it got hit down below the powder magazines to the bottom, the very bottom of the ships.
Mm-hmm.
And this plane crashed in the side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Made a great big hole. You could drive a small car through it. And they call this, of course, the water was gushing in. They called this guy that boatswain. And they said, "What can we do for you?" They knew they couldn't do anything. The hatches was all battened down and locked. He said, "Oh, we'll do this fine. We'll have an AC-doocy game." And of course, maybe a few seconds after that, the thing filled up with water.
Mm-hmm.
I caught it right after that. Did I? This is Australia,
Mhm.
and they put a new steel on it, passed it, put it back up there, and jets crash on.
Did they let y'all out at Australia?
Huh?
They let y'all go?
Yeah, them guys got what the other did.
Mhm.
I let it get it go.
Okay. And all right, so the sea battles of the war are pretty much over. Y'all on track to the United States whenever the bombs fell.
What now?
The nuclear ones.
Huh?
Whenever they nuked Japan. That you were on track back to the United States when y'all got word they surrendered.
Yeah.
What was your opinion of the bombing at the time?
Well, if Japs, they missed way more ships than they ever hit.
Mm-hmm.
But their pilots is same as the sergeants
Mm-hmm.
in the United States. That's what I was told.
Mm-hmm.
And my gosh, our officers you had to be an officer to be a pilot in the United States. I
Mhm.
think it's lieutenant.
Okay. So did you meet any Allied soldiers, like English and whatnot?
Yeah, one night we got to go ashore with that Manila
Mm-hmm.
USO tour,
Mm-hmm.
and I talked to one, and I talked to him a good while.
Where was he from?
I didn't ask him to do that. I don't know.
All right. Let's see. Did you so war ended, y'all are on track to the United States, they take y'all home?
Huh?
Did they take y'all home whenever y'all got whenever the war ended?
Well, no, the ship, they said the ship was going home.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's come home. They was going to use it for troop ship.
Mm-hmm.
Just soon we got home around New York, and it started in England and France and bringing soldiers home.
Mm-hmm.
They turned it into a troop ship.
Okay. So they drop you back off in California then?
I got off. I think it was in California. I'm not sure, but I got off. I was glad to get off. I didn't get to go to Europe. I wasn't a bit sorry.
Mm-hmm. So what'd you what was the first thing you did when you got back when you touched back American soil?
Oh. I went straight out and had a good time in Paducah.
Not to remember, huh?
I can't remember.
Means it was a good one.
Let's see. So you were still, I guess you were still contracted. How much longer did you have your contract from there?
Well, I went back to New York. We didn't go to New York, we went to Norfolk.
Norfolk, I've been there.
And I got a job there driving trucks, buses.
Was that for the
Navy?
Mhm.
And we was there for, I think I was there about 6 months. I got discharged.
Okay. And all right, let's ask some of the bigger questions here. What do you think some of the biggest mistakes of your ship and command was during your time in?
What now?
What do you think some of the biggest mistakes of your command or Allied command was during the war?
Well, I don't know. I wasn't interested in that stuff. I don't know.
All right. Let's see here. What do you think of the Japanese?
What did I think of them?
Yeah.
The morning after that big sea battle,
Mm-hmm.
the water, the top of the water was covered dead Japs. Some of them they was like drift. You see drift on ponds and bays and everything. And it was covered with thousands of them. I don't know how many ships had in that battle, but some of them still alive. We try to get them to come on board, they wouldn't do it at all. And if our men tried to get one of them, he'd take her and drown. They done told them, one of them finally told him why. He talked to him. He said they'd been told not to mess with Americans, they'd cut your head off, or all that was horror stories they told them.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to die right there, and the American get them.
So did your ship take POWs?
No, we didn't pick up any.
Okay. All right. And what do you think of the Japanese and the Axis, former Axis powers generally now?
Well, I don't know why we don't have got opinions.
Mm-hmm. All right. And do you have anything else you want to say right now?
No, I can't think of them.
All right.
I can't think like I used to. I remember things, but some things I can talk to you about. I want to tell you, I go blank. Then about 5 minutes later, it comes to me.
Okay. And do you have any advice to current military personnel?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. And what about for future generations?
Well, I tell you what, if we don't get that halfwit out of the White House, I don't know what's going to happen. He's ruining this country.
Yeah.
I don't want to get started on him. I can't stand him.
It's another 30 minutes.
All right. Oh, and what'd you do after you got discharged?
When?
After you got discharged from the Navy.
I went home, laid around, got in the way all the time. I finally got a job over at the mines,
Mhm.
Fairview. I worked over there a while. Then I went on a boat. I was on a towboat 20 years.
Mm-hmm. And how'd you meet your wife?
Huh?
How'd you meet your wife?
How did I meet her?
Yeah.
Well, I've had 5, and she's the 5th one. And I stood up with the last one, and my neighbor
Mm-hmm.
brought over and introduced us.
Mm-hmm.
She's wanting a husband, I was wanting a wife, so we just got married.
There you go. All right. I think that's all I have. Thank you very much, sir. You can hit stop on.